All right, here we go. This is episode one of SOCOM Talk, and I'm joined here with Runningmanosk and JuvyHELL. And this is a series we'll be doing on Twitch for a little bit, and we'll see, if we can get some of you guys from the SOCOM community on here to just talk about, your SOCOM experience, how you feel about this whole movement, where we're at and all that. So to start off with Running Man, how you been?
Not much, just hanging on a thread right now. Before we were hanging on a string, but now we're hanging on a thread. I'm just I'm just going with the flow whenever I see a tweet out there. I'm just trying to push for a SOCOM remastered, and I think everybody should join us.
Definitely, definitely. And you, Juvie, how you been, man?
Hey man, I'm just trying. I'm an old school soul calmer man, like old school, like so old school. That's pretty much the only game I play
Yeah.
besides or played besides Madden. I'm just getting back into the think of things. I see a lot of people pushing for the SOCOM remasters as well as myself. I'm loving it. I love all the SOCOM talk. Like, let's bring it back. Like I'm down. And shout outs to all you guys who've been pushing this stuff for years. I know there's a bunch of you guys out there. There's a bunch of people I'm starting to follow now. You know,
So
especially
you
although I
got
know TRS has been running around since day one. I
that's
want
what I
to
was
shout
about to
out
say.
them. This is a bunch of people out there running, man. I know, Turban, uh, just a bunch of guys. Fry, all the main guys. If I missed anyone, I apologize. Like I said, I'm just getting on this again. But yeah, I mean that's basically it, man. I'll say let's push, man. Let's push. We were talking before. One of the things I mentioned was, there used to be hundreds of thousands between all the SOCOM games. Of people who played and fell in love with the game. Like, what happened? Where did they
And
go?
yet
Saw
alone
that.
Are they like
series
walking
too,
dead? They
lots
need
of
to come back.
series.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So they need to come back. They need to wake up. Like, I know the love is there, you know.
Even
But yeah,
like
that's basically it, man. I appreciate the opportunity for having me on as well.
definitely, man. That's what we do. So look, you said that like the franchise alone. I mean, did any of you guys ever play the Fire Team Bravo games? Because they were actually pretty popular at one point as well.
Yeah, I
Or
never played the
never played
PSP
them? No.
portable, but I've heard about the series.
Yeah, I never played the PSP portable because someone told me it had auto aim.
Okay.
So
Well,
that kind of like, and at that time I had, there was a bunch of SOCOMs out. So that kind of like, deterred me from playing. But yeah, that's like the only SOCOMs I didn't play was PSP.
wait, man. I mean, I think you told me before you started playing off SOCOM too, right? And did you play it off as
Yeah.
soon as like it came out? Did you know about it before it came out? Like, how'd you
Well,
find
I
SOCOM?
got it. I got it Christmas Day, and I never stopped playing it. I never even went to story mode. I maybe played 3 times story mode. It was fine. Story mode was good. It's just,
Oh, definitely.
wow, meeting the community and controlling your room. You got to vote out people that weren't even there. Like, you got control of your atmosphere of your game. You valued your life more. There were like, the gun mechanics were so surreal. There was like jump to climb, dive to prone. You had objects to like save hostages or defend hostages. It was in one time and point where the SEALs had a bit of a disadvantage, and terrorists have an advantage. You get to put the hostages somewhere.
Fish
You
hook
know,
terrorist dude. Oh my god,
fish hook is awesome, man. That was
hostage.
my favorite.
Yeah, definitely. So what about you,
But
Juvie? When did you start, man? I met you in SOCOM one, man.
Yeah, we met SOCOM one. I think it was '06 I started. I had played the story mode. Um, '06, loved it. Didn't know anything about online. Pretty much like the same story as everybody else. Found out about the online, got me network adapter. Started playing, got hooked. There was a big challenge for me because I was really bad, man. Like I was bad for like 8 to 10 months. Like I sucked, but I still kept playing and people kept helping me. And after about a year, I got really good. And what I loved about it is not only like the clan thing, like I was saying before, but the competitiveness. You know, and the challenge, and we used to back then. You used to play against a lot of really good players, and you remember them by name. And I remember typing, on the chat, "Hey, good game. Hey, that was good. Hey, nice job, MVP." Remember those days? Like,
Remember.
the competitiveness and the respect was there.
And
Also,
it was one of
people talking
PlayStation
smack.
2's first online shooters in
Right.
game
Yeah,
chat.
absolutely,
Third person shooters
absolutely,
too.
Third,
absolutely.
sorry, yeah.
Absolutely, and that just to give you an idea, like how bad I was, I still loved it, because it was just like it wasn't just about being good or bad too. It was also team play, calling stuff out, So it had a lot of great aspects of it that made me fall in love with the game, like so much that I played every single one all the way up to 4, and to the shutdown or servers and everything. And this, Capone, we played
Yeah,
all of them
me and
together
you. I know.
pretty much. So it's
Oh
like,
shit.
and I haven't got on Excellent yet, but I will be getting on that. I'm just here, man. I'm just hoping. I love what you guys are doing, man. Like, I want to be a part of
See,
this. I feel like
I'm a little worried about the people on X-Link. They're just like they got their SOCOM fix, and they're like, oh yeah, they don't want to push. That's another handful of people to push, man. I know they're pushing, but still, they're playing without us, and you know, we gotta keep pushing, man, because this game, like I said, guys, this game was Sony's game that they ever created, and they went on with series, and those series were all right to the point where they shouldn't have killed it off. There's no reason why they killed off their games that they created, and now that we sit here, we beg for them to make them to come back. It's just, why did you kill it off? We want those answers. If we're not going to get SOCOM remastered, we need to know answers why they did that to that franchise, and just give us an
yeah, I
answer.
would like some answers. Yeah, I would like some answers. I want some
Mm-hmm.
answers. Are we gonna get another one? Or why they shut down? Why did they
Yeah,
shut down
why
the
did they shut
servers,
down
man? The little
Zipper,
people
the
that
whole
they had
company?
playing, like
You know?
yeah, they shut down the whole company. There's a lot of, and I'm like I said, I'm new to this again. Like, so I'm kind of
Well,
like
notice how they
behind.
shut down the servers and they kept Killzone going.
They kept
They
a
they
lot of
had some
games going.
potential for Killzone. They're keeping, I guess, Rainbow Six going. They're keeping
Yeah.
a lot of games out there. Grand Theft Auto, they kept that going. Uh,
To this day, man,
Mortal Kombat, Mortal
they're still,
Kombat to this day
yeah,
is going.
yeah. PlayStation Star Wars Battlefront 2, I believe, is still online for the PlayStation 2, man. You know, like that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy. Why
that's
isn't
crazy.
SOCOM up there, man?
Yeah, that's
Well,
crazy. And then they come out with the H-hour stuff, and I jump on
mm,
for that because of course you hear David Sears, you're like, okay,
Here we go.
let's go.
We're
Now,
back.
what the hell happened to him? Like, where
You
did
know
he
anything
go?
about that,
Was
Running
he
Man? What
leading
happened?
this stuff?
David, what happened to him?
with what David happened with David? Well, David is David, man. You can't we don't know what happened with David unless you do the thinking yourself, and there's only three choices. They probably didn't want to listen to they probably had nothing offering for him. They just wanted him as a plan B to stick around for whatever. Maybe, like, they were probably greedy, as they
Hmm.
show signs of greed. Now they apologize to the community for not listening, and still to this day they don't listen. And we feel like, as people that paid for Kickstarters and stuff, they just spat in their faces, and they didn't give what they should have given their expectations on, what they said to their community. And David probably left on a number of occasions. Like, it could have been, who knows, it could have been he wasn't comfortable on what they had to give to him. And yeah, like, they he left with giving them a proof of concept, and they just turned it around, and just, I don't know what they did with it, and I don't know
Yeah,
what's going on with that,
I
but it
remember that.
doesn't
And
look
the
good.
feedback off of that proof of concept, like the people that got flown
Everybody was
out,
hyped.
and played it was great. And I'm like, I was hyped. I started researching PCs so I can play it as soon as it comes out. And I went, I didn't donate for the game, but I went and I brought the PC. I spent 800 some odd dollars for it. I was gonna buy the game, but then once they turned their back on everybody and they started banning people and stuff like that,
Hmm.
I said I'm not going to support it until this day. That's where I stand till everybody gets together and figure out, hey, we're gonna support this game or not. Because I'm a supporter more than anything. So and my computer's sitting there right now, and
You made the right choice, man.
so
Because
I
I
mean,
played H-Hour, and let me tell you, man, the only thing
Hmm.
that it has in common with SOCOM is that it's third person, and that's where it stops. It starts there and it stops there because everything else, the gun
Hmm.
mechanics, the way you lean, the way you zoom. Like, first of all, the snipers are overpowered, man. You can snipe people from across the entire map as soon as
Someone
they
was saying
spawn.
you can use a handgun.
It's like
You can use a handgun, and you don't even know where the bullets are coming from.
exactly. There's no, in SOCOM where, if you'd hear a shot, it show that little red marker on your crosshairs and it'll kind of tell
Hmm.
you where it's at. Yeah, they didn't have that.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
Oh,
there's a
movie
lot of
bullshit.
people defending it, saying it's still in early access, still this and that. I'm like, look,
Hmm.
man, there was a proof of concept over a year ago that and it's still into what it is now. That doesn't make no sense. And all you got to do is look at the video. The guy's he's hopping around like a bunny rabbit, and it doesn't even that just looks sketchy. I'm like, you can't even the SOCOM, like real SOCOM. It was all about the gameplay. Remember the gameplay, the action. Like what happened to that? That doesn't look like any good. I haven't seen any videos with good gameplay. And that's my question. When you guys are gonna get the gameplay in there, like,
Well,
after
we can
everything
push
that
for
you
this
say.
game to happen. We got to jump on Twitter. Got to tell Geo Corsi. First of all, follow SOCOM Remaster. Once again, follow Running Man, follow you. We got to push. We got to build these hashtags to make it strong, make it trend on the internet. Let them know better PSN, hashtag anything, hashtag SOCOM Remastered, hashtag building the list, hashtag National Video Game Day, because today marks I guess I never knew that. There's a video national day, I guess. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that?
no, I just
I
barely found
had
out on
no
Twitter.
idea. I
Yeah.
just seen Twitter going off now, and I'm like trying to catch up and trying to follow as many SOCOM people as I can follow, you know, and
That's how it should
just to
be.
show support, man. I believe we have to support each other. Like if we don't support, like how we gonna
Yep.
get? How we gonna push?
Well, from the
Like we gotta
beginning,
support. Like
from the beginning, we
yeah,
should have
and
been
I got a
following one
question for you.
another, man.
Run-
And it was pissing me off because I
Yeah,
was
I got
asking,
a question
yo, follow my peeps. And they were like, yo, I don't know you. And it's like, yo, man, it doesn't matter. They're new people. I told them about the campaign. They're here for it. Since nobody was sticking
yeah,
around, they haven't even come around anymore. So it's
Yeah.
like, what the hell? I told like 30, 40 people, man, and I'm good at what I do, man.
You,
I
man.
got
I
a
see.
channel with
I
almost
see. Yeah.
3,600 subs. I'm always on Twitch. I'm playing the game, letting the word out. Fuck. And
Look, me and
just to
Juvie
see
talked
that
about this.
nobody, yeah, man, nobody helps out. Nobody just like,
Yeah, exactly.
help out just a little button to follow to
Take
like,
this.
okay,
I
well,
told him, yeah.
when we're about
yeah.
to
And that's what I
tweet, boom,
that's what I
that
was
guy
trying to
should
do
know
earlier.
it's not fucking good, man. It's not looking good. But if you look at my friends list, I guarantee you, like you were doing, you'll see all the people that have their backgrounds. Like I have them
Yeah, the
all. The
SOCOM
backgrounds are
banner.
ready to go. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And it was my friend
yeah.
Damon Fire. My friend
But
Damon Fire.
I'll,
We got
I'll check
everybody
yours
hooked up
out.
with that. He's a good graphic designers. He's really good at what he does. You can hit him up on Twitter. And yeah, man, the guy's a good. Shout outs to everybody, man, fucking trying to get this game. But like we've been doing
Definitely.
for years, man. And this one is
I think it's
I
the
don't know,
final.
man. This
The
one
final one.
feels like, yeah, it's a final for sure,
Yeah,
but it
I
feels
agree.
there's a little bit of potential. We could say, hey, man, enough's enough. 12 years later is done, like fuck.
Okay, so let me ask
So
you this, man. Let me ask you this.
yeah.
Okay, we've been acknowledged by Geo Corsi, right? We
Yep.
fucking made Twitter trend with building the list.
Yep.
What happens if come December 5th at PlayStation Experience, nothing about SOCOM is announced? What happens then? You think?
Well, that's when everybody will just bite the bullet and just go on with their gaming careers or lives or
And
what
that's
they
it.
do. They're gonna take it, and like how we've been taking it, we have no choice. That's Sony
There
for
you
you.
go.
Sony knows
Definitely.
we have no choice. And and it bothers me because Sony was asking everybody to participate, and here we are. pushing. At one time and point, we're top at the leader of building the
Trending
list.
Twitter, man.
We've been acknowledged. David Troy Sears, another executive of Sony, acknowledged us. It was bullshit to do that to us. So why even lie to us? So I don't know what's gonna happen come December 6th or 5th.
Well, let me ask
We'll
you
have to
this.
see. Like,
Let me ask
That's
you
I've
this.
been noticing. Check this one out. I haven't noticed no online like remastered. They're just online. Like, I've
yeah.
noticed that there's no online. So yeah, go ahead, ask away, man. I got it.
As far as far as the community, you know how you were saying before that they
Mm-hmm.
asked us and we try to push and stuff like that. Now, like I said before, I'm back. I'm new. To the Twitter stuff and the online stuff with the SOCOM. So with that being said, is there a divide anywhere? I mean, obviously, I know there's something with the HR people, which I don't
Yeah.
even know who's who. You know,
Few
is there
Like a
HR
a
people.
divide,
divide
like
in
what?
certain
People trying to
SOCOM
bash?
groups,
Like what?
like
People that are for
that's not
HR and
working
they're trying to.
together?
Oh,
No,
they're not
besides
working
the
together.
HR,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Oh, because
besides
they
the
think
HR
we're gonna
people.
ruin it for HR.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Well,
anything about that?
it's really tough to say, man, because what's going on was there was a lot of potential for H-Hour from get-go, right? So people were all in for it. Then they started fucking the people over. So the people started to speak. Then there were people that stayed with the studio and others started to follow, which were fine, but they got brainwashed by the studio to like, oh, this and that. And as they were getting brainwashed, it's kind of hard to talk over social media and hard to speak, especially if you're blocked from the forums
Yeah.
or wherever.
Band.
So they kept, whatever. So then a guy by the name of Big Fry speaks his mind, which you're entitled to, because where I live, you're allowed to speak your freedom. And he spoke whatever, everybody agreed, and then I guess the studio didn't like that because they at one time they wanted ties with him and his boys, and they kind of realized what they were for. They weren't for them for the boys. They were there for whatever their purposes were to serve. Who knows? We clearly are looking at H-Hour right now. It doesn't feel like they're doing it for the community anymore. They're asking for more money to be donated, actually,
Yeah, that is
as we
that is
speak. So
insane.
yeah,
Wow.
it's like I don't know how much money was already donated, but it's like that wasn't enough.
250K.
So yeah, like that wasn't enough. So I don't know,
Is
man.
that the only divide in the SOCOM community? Is the H-Hour,
Well, you can
or
remember
is there
SOCOM was
divide in
built to play.
other SOCOM
Listen, check
members?
this out. SOCOM was created on PlayStation 2 back in 2003. All right, I tell this to everybody. And when they created that, that was competing against the PlayStation, the PC, okay, and Halo. So Halo is ties with Microsoft. So that was their biggest competitor. So that's why you got that third person feel look. It looked like a keyboard mouse game. So that's why Sony started to sell a lot of consoles because of SOCOM. And then, from there, that's why we're all pissed off because Sony had a game where that game trended big time. It should be like how Mario and Nintendo and Sega and Sonic, Halo and Xbox. What does Sony have? That's what I keep telling people. What did Sony generate it off of? What game got it to fucking have its franchise successful? It was SOCOM, man. It was the third person fucking game that made everybody want to play. And then that's why Black Ops came in and took over because it's a shooter, right? And they threw SOCOM under the bus, which is very easy if you're the corporation that can just taint people and fucking just control them. And we have no choice. We're controlled. We have to buy fucking Black Ops 3 if we have no choice. We have no choice. So it's like, and that's what bothers me when they tell us that we have a choice to give them, a list, building the list. Well, we already gave you
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
list. Where is it? Like, come on, man. You're lying to the people that buy the console. I almost want to buy an Xbox for fuck's sakes. Xbox is winning right now. I don't know why we're selling consoles, but hell, look at Xbox. You could play double compatible. It's got more memory, and it's got Halo. Halo was like 20 years. It's 20 years old, that game. And what does Sony have for its community? Nothing. And now they're trending Call of Duties, which I'm really sick of. First person, first person, first person. They have nothing out
Yeah,
there
I
but
don't play
first
that.
person Planet Side, first person Destiny, first person Black Ops, first person, Advanced Warfare, first person. Like, when are we going to change it up? Like, okay, fine. If you're not going to give us SOCOM, give us some features. Give us some victory dances. Give us a vote out mechanism. Give us some remembranceness. You know what I'm saying? Did I even say that word right? But
It
you
don't
know what I
matter.
mean?
Go ahead.
We
Keep going. Keep
we
going.
we need that remembrance of the feel of what they had back in the day. At least give us type the button to chat. Give us something to like make it feel real. Any kind of game. And right now, I don't feel like there is a better game out there because we're in 2 years and the PlayStation 4 is out there, and not yet one game is out there to beat SOCOM for sure. So that pisses me off. We are still waiting for awesome game for PS4 to hit, and yet Sony's planning to make Project Morpheus a realistic, cool game. They can't even make a realistic freaking army game for fuck's sakes on PS4. So if you guys want to say anything else, that's what I have to say, and that bothers me a lot
Well,
because
let me just
I'm
say
a
this then.
consumer.
You okay? Look, check this out. The PlayStation 2 launched in 2000, right? And at that time, there was no game. Like SOCOM literally carried the PlayStation 2 throughout those early years. The only other game that
Mm-hmm.
helped the PlayStation 2 was the Grand Theft Auto series. You know, it's understandable. It's
Yeah,
a great game,
Yeah.
but other than that, you don't see any. You don't remember any other game. It's SOCOM. That
yeah,
you know they
Online wise, yeah.
exactly online. There was no other game. Maybe Killzone. Killzone did get a little popular, but not like SOCOM. You know.
Like so.
Killzone's
So
dead. Look at Shadow Falls. They try to bring it over to the PS4. Why wouldn't they do that with the SOCOM series? Because you know why? They were scared if they couldn't get 373,000 users off then, if they would have doubled that number, they would have got scared. And then they would have been, oh man, we can't sell our Call of Duties or Battlefields or Destinies. Because people would get off their, high horse on SOCOM, go play a Destiny, and then compare it and be like, nah, man, I'm going back. So that's why they ended it off with that real feel military, high numbered game based military fucking game, man. It just, they should have kept it going. There's no reason why
Hey,
they
what
could have
happened
killed it
years
off. Why?
ago when all those when we signed up for all those SOCOM 2 signatures, and I believe we had like
right.
15,000 signatures and
Yep.
stuff like that. Like
Oh yeah,
what did they say then? Like I don't even
Nothing.
remember.
yeah,
Nothing. They never said anything. You know.
nothing.
That's one of
Yeah,
the problems. They don't stay in touch with the community. They don't tell us like, okay, we see you guys raised 15,000 signatures for a SOCOM 2 in HD, but they don't give us that. They just stay quiet about everything, and that's one of the problems that people have with them is they never say anything. Oh,
I don't know why they do it though. Like, we're the community, we see all the results. They think we don't, but we do. And it's just, how all these other games come out. It's because they're Japan people out there that support their community is humongous. So they'll support Yu-Gi-Oh for fuck's sakes. They'll support freaking Pokemon, and next thing you know, there'll be a remastered freaking, like, we struggle as a gaming community, but yet they don't want to hear us when we are strong in that that part of the atmosphere. Like, we're only strong in that way of talking, but we're nothing other than that. And we'll
so
always stay strong if we
so
keep
let me
going. We
ask you
got to
this,
keep
man.
going.
Okay, let's say Sony would jump on board, right? They hear us, they say, okay, we're gonna do something for SOCOM. Would you want them to do a remaster, like bring SOCOM 2 to the PS4, or would you want them to do just a new SOCOM game with some old mechanics from the previous SOCOMs? What would you like?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say because I never played any of the games except for SOCOM 3 and a little bit of Confrontation. But I don't know. I would think maybe a classical game that can like hit all, kill three birds with one stone. And then if I didn't, want to pick that choice, I could still go to SOCOM 2, Like, there should be a bunch of features in that category if you wanted to play the old days, 1 or 2 or 3. You know, you got that choice.
Well,
It would be good if it had a choice.
Juvie,
I
you there?
think we
I
lost.
agree with that. I
Oh,
agree with.
okay,
I don't
good.
think it's doable. I don't think they would do it. But I mean, what SOCOM fan wouldn't love that? You know, or even a new one, or even the SOCOM remastered. Like at this point, we need something. You know, but
Yeah.
those are all great ideas. I mean, you know, I don't see how hard would it be to like redo those games? Like, how much would it cost? I mean, can you port them
I
over?
don't know. I
Like,
believe the
I'm sure
SOCOM
you
source
would
guy
get the
said he,
funds by the people.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
SOCOM source dev. I talked to him on Twitch, and he said that they can't do it. They can't do a port over from PS2. That they're not able to do that. So I'm not really sure how how true that is, but I don't know. I believe Sony should have a way to do that.
so they would have to remake. They would have to
Yeah,
just remake the whole game all over
pretty
again anyway.
much. But I mean, they have everything. They have the mechanics saved up. They could take stuff from the old SOCOM.
Like they can just build off of it. I have no idea how that stuff works. I don't
Me
even know
either.
if they bring back the old developers to help out or what, or if they start paying for somebody to make it. You know what I mean? It's whatever. As long as we get the SOCOM that we usually played back in the day, I don't think people would be upset. As long as it played SOCOM and it felt like SOCOM, I'm sure everybody would be
I
happy.
think I think that's been the problem. I think they progressively have gotten worse. Being due to the fact that they try to cater to like different fans instead of the SOCOM fans, and that's when people are like,
Away from the game,
Exactly. That's
they're
what I'm
just
saying.
taking
"Yep,
away, and we don't know
yep."
why they were doing it, but
They
it
SOCOM
wanted to
seems
2
like
and
they're
cater
trying to
to
SOCOM
break it.
3,
the fans.
you could
They
see
wanted
the
to cater to Call of Duty fans and Battlefield
yeah.
fans to try to reel them in, basically competing against themselves. I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
why
So
didn't
they
that
just
happen
got
with Call of Duty? You know what I mean? There's a reason why it happened with SOCOM because they did it to SOCOM. So Sony did it on SOCOM because they could. They had the power. And they could do it with any game. If they wanted to shut down the servers and say, hey, man, that's it for Black Ops 2, boom, it's done. And that's coming to an end. Black Ops 2 is coming to an end. But what they can do is keep it going. What they are doing is trying to keep games going, what they're doing right now. So what the hell? Why can't they just do it with the SOCOM and just get it over with? That's the first game you ever made. That's like your fucking trademark game. So make it. Just do it.
what was did they
Everybody
give
wants
any
it.
for shutting down all the SOCOM servers? And I don't really care about the other ones. I'm just talking about the SOCOM servers in particular. But they shut all of them down. They shut
My
SOCOM
best
two,
Yep.
guess is
Yeah, they
this.
set them
or
all down.
Did they give an explanation? Well, I don't remember reading an explanation, but basically what I think it was is Sony was just sort of looking at the numbers SOCOM 4 did, and they were sort of like, because Confrontation didn't do as good as SOCOM 1 or SOCOM 2 did. SOCOM 3 sold more units than Confrontation did, man. And they were looking at SOCOM 4, like pretty much went from 1.4 million, I believe, from Confrontation to like 700,000 on SOCOM 4. Like the game just went down. They weren't getting the numbers they expected. That's what I think.
Yeah, they didn't want to babysit their game. They didn't want to
Yeah,
fix it up. And after it just broke, it just fell apart. Just like how Black Ops is right now. Modders are in the room. They don't care for Black Ops 2. They got Black Ops 3.
exactly.
And
yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what
a
the
lot of
word is for
SOCOMers
Sony
came from
to
SOCOM
do with.
four. This ain't
I don't know
SOCOM.
what's going on with Sony 3. If it's gonna close the doors this year, next year, or eventually its life cycle is gonna end. So I want to see what's gonna go on with that. And they're making a Black Ops 3 for PlayStation 3.
So they still making games for it?
Yeah, there's a new Call of Duty
Well,
every year.
if you go to a store and ask for a PlayStation 3, they don't have it in stock, especially brand new. Sony's not making it anymore.
Really?
So it's like it's hard to get stock, especially games. Like look at Mortal Kombat. It got pushed back to a delay, and then it just got canceled. It was supposed to come for Sony 3, so we don't know what's going to go on. I don't know what's going on with the new games to come. Hopefully, we get good games, and Sony needs to step it up. They keep saying we sell sales, sell consoles, sell this. Yeah, well, they're probably hiding a lot of other information. Their Xbox is probably winning against them. I don't know why Xbox isn't announcing shit, but seems like Sony's rubbing it in their face a lot. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
Xbox doesn't have to
So,
announce anything,
I
man.
don't
The
know
Call of
why they
Duty
don't have a lot of
franchise
games to play.
carries them,
And
man.
I noticed.
well, well, first of all, Xbox got double compatible games. That just says it right there. What do you think? What do you think? If you were an Xbox person, you can play your old games, which we can't. What would you think? How would you think?
I definitely go
Would
get an
that be
Xbox.
awesome? Exactly. So they're winning in some kind of way. They're winning in some kind of way. So I don't know, man. I just hope that Sony fucking does something in the future big and spectacular for the SOCOM fans that, been biting to get this in. But if we can't, at least give us something, and enough with kids, because man, these kids today, they don't know. They're like 14, they're young, they're like, holy crap, they're not even for the game. And like, how do we have fun?
They didn't
PlayStation's built to play
experience what we
online
did.
together. How do you
Yeah.
play with 14-year-olds you have to mute, that chase you around in a room, try to corner trap you?
So SOCOM, you
And
vote them
meanwhile,
out.
you're not mad because they're trolling. You're just mad at a squeaky 14-year-old laughing and getting his own way because his mom had to buy it for him because he wouldn't shut up to get the game. So it's like, whatever, man. So I see it every day, man, when I play online. I have no choice. I have to like either mute them or just leave. And it's not fun, man. Developers should step it up. They should make the game fun, like how SOCOM did. They had, games, in-game mechanics to do. If we can't get SOCOM, just fucking transfer it in some kind of ways that we can see
Yeah.
a
What is
SOCOM
that? Why is
future.
so
You know?
one of the few games that that that's just owned by Sony? You notice that I've never got an answer to that. Actually, I never
Hmm.
even asked that question. Like, and they have the
Because
rights
it
to
had
it, and nobody
major
could.
potential. Hmm. It had rights because they had potential for that, and that's why they probably bought it out. I don't know if it was SOE, Sony Entertainment, if they were involved or what, but yeah, man, they seen potential, so they grabbed it. They grabbed it,
Well,
and I don't know
they
why they
they
just
they,
stopped
they
it. So
hold them by the ball because they have all the rights to it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like
yeah, they do.
it's like
I almost
basically
feel
saying
like
fuck you guys.
you know how you sit outside of a stadium, like a person sits out of the stadium, he has an app TV, and they're getting to give you signatures on their app.
Right,
You
right.
ever you ever go to like an event and there's like some hot chick with a iPad? She's like, yeah, can I get you just to sign here?
There
You
you
know what
go.
I'm saying? And you fall for it, and all you doing is like, yeah, I'm voting, sure, whatever. That's what we got to do. We got to get like people to stand, just get gamers outside of GameStops and be like, yeah, did you hear about SOCOM? Yeah, just hit this. Yeah, just touch that. Boom, vote it. You know what I mean? Like, we got to do like what we have to do. Get some hot chick or something doing it.
The sick thing about that is that might actually work. Like
Work,
500,000
definitely, man.
signature.
Yeah, man, you get signatures. You just sit outside of the game store and ask for permission if you can. You're not hurting anybody. You're not selling anybody. You're not selling anything. You're just asking people what do they think if there was a remastered game. You just sit outside the mall with your phone, anything, and you just help them to at least get your email down, vote for
Right.
SOCOM,
Yeah,
and then
man.
you
Get a
just
little
thank them for your
SOCOM
time.
hat, a little SOCOM vest.
SOCOM
Yeah,
face paint.
man. Face paint. I'm in it for the face paint. I always, every year, man, I always want to get my fucking face painted Halloween, like fucking
Oh
army.
shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man. I tell
Well,
you right now, though, if we got SOCOM, man, I would do my first face reveal because you probably would see all the paint. But yeah, man, I'd be all decked out. Fuck, you think Metal Gear Solid, man, I would. I would look so calm forever, man. Man, we just
No,
need
man.
it.
I'll be right there with you, man. I would do the same shit,
face
bro.
paint.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Face paint. Fuck. Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
don't be
Be like a
ashamed, man, that
celebration. Why
you're a
not?
SOCOMer.
Oh, never.
Nobody should be ashamed, you know. Always be open. If you're new, especially new to this stream here, let us know if you know. We're all over the place with this podcast, but still, we just
Short
heard some
notice,
good
man.
news. Yeah, we're on a short notice,
But
but
what's
Hey,
the
I'm just
place?
yeah,
glad
man.
I was
Go ahead.
invited on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love SOCOM, man. Number one.
We'll do a better show next time. Again, this was thrown on short notice, but we
Yeah,
just had to talk
SOCOM 2
about
for
this,
number
man.
me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was short notice.
Okay, so you told me before that you know the guy that's behind the SOCOM Remastered account, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
He's a good friend of mine.
do you talk to him like on a daily basis?
Yeah, yeah. I talk to him on a daily basis. I watch his stuff. Yeah, I
Well,
tweet at him sometimes.
why has he been
But
quiet these last 2 weeks? Do you know anything about that?
just cause he's waiting for strong potential tweets, like for instance that one that just happened. He's not gonna just tweet out stuff when like he's already got the gathering. There's nothing else that he can do. Like I said, he'll look like he's thirsty for spamming or tweeting. Like it's him. You can't change his ways. That's the way he is. If it was me, I would kind of do what he's doing, but I would be a little bit pushy with being proud of trying to bring this back. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, he's all good, man. He knows what he's doing. I got
He's
all
just being
faith
more
in him.
tactical with it. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
So
No,
look,
I got total faith in
check
him.
this out, man. Me and Juvie were talking about maybe getting a day, like picking a day, sometime next week or next month before the
Hmm.
PlayStation experience, and sort of just get
Yeah,
everybody to
yeah.
just not spam Twitter. Let's not call it spam, man. But just go on
Hmm.
Twitter and tweet at GeoCorzy at Sony. We could do this like literally a day before the PlayStation experience to let them know, so they have us in the back of their mind, just so they don't forget about it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but I don't think if it wasn't on the list, they're gonna be like putting it on the list at the last minute. So we gotta just keep pushing that, anyways. But before the date, maybe around November, the end of November, we should put out a video and be like, "Yo, what's up?" Let them know, especially on YouTube. Keep these podcasts going, even though this was our first one.
It's okay.
Shout
It's
outs for
SOCOM.
having
It's
me
all
on
we
the
do.
on this. Yeah, man, and yeah, man. People want to hear all the SOCOM jazz. They want to hear what we have to say. Maybe they want to hear what they have to say. So if you guys have anything to say, leave it in the description, man. And if you guys want to be on the podcast, all you got to do is be on Skype. But you got to be a veteran. You got to know what you're talking about. All right, fuck, no fakers, no H hours, no nothing like that. We're here for the community, and we need to keep it that way before December 5th and 6th. So,
All right.
anybody
We're
else?
getting.
Let me ask you this:
Go ahead.
December 5th and 6th is the date that gonna announce who won
Yeah.
this building the
Okay.
listing,
So
or
last
that's when they
year,
close the date.
well, last year what happened
That
was
yeah.
last year the building Yakuza 5 that video I made, they announced Yakuza 5 last year on this PlayStation Experience 2014, and that was done through building the list. So pretty much it makes
They
sense for
announced
them
it
to announce
in
it.
December.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Well, they are going to be announcing a couple of building the list. If you even Google or YouTube building the list 2014, you'll see what PlayStation Experience means. So basically, it's just going to be a 2015 one. And what blows my mind is they said that they had 2,000 over 2,000 responses for names of games. Bro, we blew that out of the water.
Absolutely.
Like, you know
Absolutely.
what I
We made
mean?
a
Like
trend on
we're
Twitter,
more
man.
than 2,000.
You know what I
Like
mean?
in 2004, when he was announcing on stage, they had over 2,000 requests of building the list games, and we crunched that number just alone on one topic. So hopefully they understand that, and they consider that, because yeah, man, it wouldn't be fair that they're asking. Like I said, we're gonna go in circles here. They asked us to do the campaign. They asked us to support whatever, and we did a campaign, And now if we don't get acknowledged, that's bullshit, man. I'd be
That's really sick.
pissed if I was.
Especially,
I,
the stuff you're talking about, how we blew everybody off of that list. And, I'm curious to see. I mean, I can't do it now, but I'm curious to see what other titles are on the list with the SOCOM Remastered this year. I'm just curious because
I
like
haven't
I
seen
said,
anything
I
stand
haven't
out like
a little
SOCOM did,
behind.
man. And see, I could tell you right now, I've been
You know,
following this since the SOCOM Remastered was announced, and I checked that building the list hashtag every day, and nothing compares to what we did, man. We filled up the entire like you could scroll down endlessly and just see SOCOM. Like I haven't seen that. No,
yeah.
so I'm curious to see the
Well, right
numbers
now you
too. Like
see.
what games
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
SOCOM games than us? That's what they got to be looking at. Hey, SOCOM sold, certain amount of units back then compared to this game. Like, how are they deciding who's gonna win this? By these tweets or by past
by
sales?
popularity, I think. Well, they should take past sales
Yeah,
into account because, like I said,
yeah.
SOCOM did do very well when it came out. Back then in those early days, man, titles didn't get that many sales that fast. SOCOM like it broke records for
SOCOM did.
online hours, like all that
Even
stuff.
commercials, even
Yeah,
mad commercials. There are like 30 commercials on how to the game was like. It was like the Jester one, or there was ones like in Japan. Japan was like all about SOCOM. It was crazy.
I think one of the problems why SOCOM also started going down is I felt like I told you, I don't think they marketed it as much as they should have got. Like I wouldn't see like for example like Call of Duty nowadays. You can't turn the TV on without seeing a Call of Duty commercial. Like you never saw that with SOCOM. You know,
Hmm.
but then again, you didn't need to do that because SOCOM, all the previous users would always go to the next title in hopes of, oh, this might be even better than it was before, but that never happened. They were just let down.
Oh, like how they sold how
Yeah,
they sold the part two.
yeah,
Yeah, like
exactly,
I didn't have no questions or any thoughts about buying SOCOM 3. I just did it. But when I
exactly.
played it, don't get me wrong, like I wasn't a sniper or anything. It was bigger. The maps were a little bit bigger. I wasn't comfortable, and the cars were too much for me. I just didn't like it. But yeah, I had no questions. Like you said, I had no questions. I bought it. Just like that. And
Same
I
here.
did
I
it with
bought every
SOCOM
single
4.
title.
I did it with Confrontation. I did, and they knew that. They knew that.
They did know
So,
that.
Yeah, I
so.
did the same thing. All true SOCOMers did. Like,
Hmm.
Exactly.
even the ones that got stuck. I mean, some of them got stuck on the older games and never moved up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which
you
is,
can't blame them though.
it was few. It was few compared to like the ones that did move up. But still, like, that's how much everybody loved the game. Either you're getting it or you're getting stuck on the one you're playing on. So
Yeah. Now,
that's how it
now,
was.
now we're ending up with the next generation. They're younger generation. They weren't introduced to PlayStation 2 online, and their atmosphere is Black Ops. Like
Yeah,
hence our
complete.
And
atmosphere was
Battlefield.
SOCOM. So they're all pushing for their game that they've been which fine with me. Like that's fine, but they should step back and be like, wait, if there's a community talking about this popular game back in the day, why aren't they for it? Why are they so like anti against it? Like that doesn't clue me in. Like you should be a gamer for any kind of shooter game. And if you're supporting your series, then fine. Why are you sitting on the game trolling and trying to 360 and being an ass? Like that's not community to me. Like you really like your game that much, you're gonna fucking piss off your own people. Meanwhile, the fucking servers will get small. You will come around again,
Yeah,
and
and
people will
YouTube
be
was
pissed.
just popping back then, and SOCOM once again was one of the few ones with the gaming videos, with the sniping videos, with the, you know, back then you had a certain amount of time that you could play, put together a video and stuff like that without having to put a second part to it and stuff like that. That's where SOCOM comes from, you know, like
Yeah, yeah. And if nobody knows SOCOM, go YouTube it. YouTube the highlights. Go on Capone's YouTube videos, man. He's got some good vids. And make some photoshops if you have that software, if you can. We just got to keep pushing. We got to, let Gio Corsi know we're not going to stop just because he said, wow, that's a lot of potential or whatever. Just keep pushing. Whenever there's a major tweet, we'll be notified. Especially SOCOM Remastered. Obviously, he's not sitting back. He's watching. He's hearing. He just tweeted out today. So we gotta get new people on board right away. And what like I don't understand is all these other people that are pushing for whatever and they're listening to them. Why are we struggling? Like, what the hell? We're
Yeah,
doing really
see,
well,
I
but
know,
yet
I know.
other people, you have to like get online. Like, there are no Twitter people out there, and the age limit to I don't think like, are there a lot of 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds on Twitter? So like, if you're gonna
I'm
get
gonna
a
assume yes.
remastered game, like, what kind of community was pushing to make that game happen? You know what I mean? Because there are some remasters out there that I guess they're pushing for. I'm not going to say their names because
Okay,
I'm
so
not
check
supporting
this
them.
out. You told
But
me that you might think that Crash Bandicoot will get a remaster, right? Do you know that's fact? Do you know
oh,
that's 100% true, or is that just off what you see on Twitter?
well, I'm going off of another story, and like, it's not a story. Like, basically, I announced it in a buddy of mine's podcast, and then somebody announced it, and then from there, it sounds really true because the guy was correcting me and saying yes, yes, and I'm pretty sure there'd be like, no, Running Man, you're wrong. So yeah, I have a strong feeling, we're gonna get a remastered Crash Bandicoot, and yeah, that sucks. But
Oh my
whatever,
god.
as long as we get an online game, it should be good. You
Man,
got to remember, these are online
But the
for
thing is,
PS4.
like,
This is
we're
for
pushing
PS4.
for SOCOM Remastered. So we're pushing for SOCOM Remastered. If we don't get that, I don't think we're getting. It's pretty much safe to say if we're not getting anything
Well, if
think
you
as
it's
far
look
as
on
hear this.
SOCOM.
building the list
Hear me.
right now, you'll see a lot of tweets for Crash Bandicoot,
Now, what
and
I can tell you
they're
about that
really
is, if you compare the sales that Crash Bandicoot did on the PS2 as
they're
compared
not
to
looking at
SOCOM,
that though. They're looking
well,
for
they
the
should, man.
yeah.
Like
I know.
me as a fucking executive, I should look at the sales and say, well, look, this SOCOM series did millions more than fucking Crash Bandicoot did. Why are we doing a remaster of this game? It doesn't make any sense.
I think they just don't want to waste their time. The ports are just too complicated. It was probably too complicated because it was too of a good game to keep babysitting. They just don't want to waste their time with a hard game to babysit. I don't know.
It's worth their time, man.
And
That's what they don't see, man. It frustrates me when
I
they
know,
don't see
I
that,
know
man.
it's worth it.
You know how many kids would be
Yeah,
hooked
it
to
is worth the
SOCOM
time.
that never experienced that, man? You know how many people would switch from Call
Well,
of
you
Duty to
never know these
Battlefield?
days now because of.
I think
You
so.
never know though. It's
The
hard to
times has
explain.
changed now,
I don't
though.
know. It's
Everything's
hard
like
because
Call
we've
of
been
Duty now
playing
that they love.
since you've been playing first shooters all the time, right? So now they're all about the first shooters. Because
Yeah, I guess.
out of 10, I can't even say it. 9 out of 10 times that I ask somebody about it, they're like, "Oh, I'm for first person, whatever," right? And I ask them, "Do you like third person? Would you give it a try?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Well, these are the advantages and disadvantages you got. Wouldn't you want that?" And they're like, "No." So it's like, wow, really? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think it's
understand where they're
because it's
coming
too
from.
much
But
work.
you know what? I played
You,
SOCOM life, and you asked me to play first person shooter, like Call of Duty. I'm gonna say no. Like I've tried it, and I hate it. It gave me headaches, and I'd rather play third. There's no realistic third person shooters out there.
just look at
You
it
know,
this way though. It's an extra hard feature to add. You have to like add more feature to the face of the character. Like for instance, Uncharted, their that character is so awesome, right? But look how long it took them to make it. But now, if you don't want to do that, you just want to put a first person and skip past all that. Maybe you make the games quicker. You know what I mean? So they're like taking the easy way out. Hence, where if you do play third person, you're getting more depth feel in the character. You see the water bottle hanging off the side, you see the hat a little bit more, see his face, stuff like that. And that's what we need. We need some features that you can like look at your character and you could feel like you are the character, you know, because every game is built with imagination. You have to have an imagination to make it fun, right? But I don't get that with any other game but SOCOM. So
Man, so
I like the fact that I
so
can play
do
that.
do you plan on playing? Have you played X Link, Running Man? Have you tried it out?
No, I'll eventually run by and get it. I burnt out my computer with too many videos of YouTube. I had my graphics card burnt out, so I gotta upload that and get that all fixed up. Whatever. I'm thinking about buying a computer this tax season for sure. Like it's a good investment, and yeah, man, I'm about to step it up a notch with YouTube and everything, and I've been telling about my supporters and stuff like that. But no, I heard about it. I definitely want to get on it. I really do.
What about you, Juvie? I know you
Yeah,
haven't played it,
Capone's
right?
gonna help me. Capone's gonna help me get that on there. Nah. Hopefully within a
Well, I
week or
know a
so. There's a
link.
couple
I
things.
know a link. You can use a link to how to get on X-Link. It's very easy.
Well, listen, man, we're getting here to the ending of the show. I'm gonna ask each and every one of you guys, like, what do you want to tell, like, to the SOCOM community? That's sort of like, reluctant to go vote for this, go tweet about this. Like, what do you want to tell those guys that aren't, fully behind this movement to get them going?
Well, it wouldn't hurt.
Well,
It wouldn't
me
hurt to get
personally,
behind the movement to bring a game to the table. A new game to the table. Like you guys are all stuck on first person shooters. You know, there's a new game. If it was a little cheaper, it'll be like what? Like how God of War was $39.99. If this is a remastered game, you're not going to be paying fully priced. So that there's a bonus. You're not going to be getting dinged for all the maps. That's a bonus. You're going to have a real game that feels real army field. Like there's no complaints. There's all good ratings on SOCOM. So that's what I would say. And get on Twitter and make sure you guys follow SOCOM Remaster, follow Young Capone here or me, and basically jump on board whenever you see a tweet. Help out that retweet. Even post. You need to post. Retweets don't count. We will retweet, but posts are really appreciated. And basically, hashtags when they come out, you guys keep on the lookout for that. And yeah, man, you guys need to check out this game if it were to come out because it's a different atmosphere of games. You get to control your guy. All right, you don't get ripped off. You don't have to wait 4 months for 3 maps. You get everything all in one bundle right there. All right, so that's what I have to say.
If you never played SOCOM, you don't get to unlock every weapon. Everything's there for you from the beginning. Anyways,
Yes,
let's
yes.
go to you,
And
Juvie.
your ranks depreciate and they fluctuate the way
Yeah.
you play.
Right, go ahead, Juvie. What would you tell the people that are not behind this
oh
completely?
yeah, basically, we don't have a SOCOM game right now. Though, and this is going specifically for people who love SOCOM, like you know, the old school, even the new schoolers who played like the last couple who fell in love with it. Like you love SOCOM, we don't have a game right now. There's thousands of us, who want it, who love it. And if you love it, if you want it, just support. It doesn't hurt you not to
How could you
support.
change somebody? How could you change somebody that doesn't want this? How could you make him notice that this is the game for them? How could we do that to somebody? How could you, you know, how
If
could
we're
we
talking
let
about
somebody know?
if we're talking about people that have never played
SOCOM.
SOCOM, what they need
Yeah,
to do is
yeah,
they need to do their research, man. They need to see the sales, they need to see gameplay, the realism it had, the third person
exactly,
feel. They need to see all of it
exactly.
because they never experienced a game like this
Yeah.
before. That's the thing, and
And don't criticize. Don't criticize about the graphics. Don't forget, we're complaining about the graphics. We want a remastered 1080p, 60 frames per second.
go get
Back
all that,
then,
man.
we weren't playing HD. We weren't even on Skype. We were playing with microphones and like we had like walkie talkies, MSN to cheat. Like there was other ways. We weren't like this was back in the day
We
where we
weren't
were playing on
spoiled like
like
all you Call of Duty
white,
kids.
yellow, and green.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, man.
we didn't have 1080p, so the quality is not that great, but it is still there. Like
The gameplay
it's
speaks for
still
itself.
good. So I get that a lot.
And the
People are always
gameplay was
complaining, oh, the
fantastic.
graphics. Well,
After all that, the gameplay was
yes.
fantastic, man. Like the gunfights
Fuck your
everything
grenade arcs. You could
was
control where you
phenomenal.
wanted to land your arc, your nade.
The prone.
Underdog your arc
Absolutely.
on a nade. Open doors.
Throw
Fuck,
hostage
that
to
was the
anybody.
best. Victory dance. Victory
God,
dance
Victor.
when you get a kill.
Oh man.
Call outs with
That's
trend.
classic. That's like
Oh, the
people
taunts,
don't
the
even
custom
talk about
taunts.
that, man. People don't even talk about the
I remember.
taunts.
Yeah.
Yo, taunts.
I remember hiding behind hostages. Hiding
You shoot them like
behind
twice, so they're really
hostages
weak.
because if you killed
You know what
them,
I
we
mean?
win.
Remember that?
Yeah, in the leg.
Shoot them in the leg.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. I always brought him back a fish
Oh my
hook
god!
behind
Remember,
the
he used to
fish
throw the
hook wall.
grenades, and he used to like shake the. He used to shake the.
Bro, I'd always
Shake the
kill a
TV.
hostage and put a
All
mine
the
on him.
grenades.
I'd
I
kill a
bet.
hostage and put a mine on him.
Yeah, you could,
Run around with a
or mine
12
other
gauge
people's
pump,
dead bodies. You know, all that
automatic.
Yeah, you
stuff,
used to
man.
be able to
Where do
lay
you
on
see
dead
that?
bodies. Remember, you
Where
used
do
to
you
lay
see
on
that? Yeah.
lay on the dead body
Where do
with
you
just
see
somebody.
that in another game?
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on, man.
exactly.
How about guns hot?
Vote out
Whatever
when
happened to
someone's
guns
around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Your gun
Yeah,
going
guns
hot. What
hot
the
when
hell?
someone's coming around.
hot?
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man, it would
All that stuff.
acknowledge. You'd be on your toes to like
Yeah,
fight it
and you
off.
to keep on your grenade. It wouldn't be
What
hot.
about
So
night
people used to walk
vision?
around
Night
with
vision
grenades.
goggles
Vision.
on night maps.
Yeah,
You got to use night vision.
yeah.
Yeah. So
How
listen,
Or
about
the
all those
anybody
characters. There
maps?
were
All those
like
classic
6 or 7 different characters, right? Huh?
throughout the
The
whole series,
characters.
yeah.
There
there
was
was a
like a
bunch of
girl
characters.
character,
Yep.
the chef.
I remember the
Yeah,
chef dude.
man.
Best
Yeah.
character
Raincoat, the
ever,
yellow
man.
raincoat.
And the Gordon Fisherman dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy was
Yeah.
classic. Right,
Yeah.
man. Anyways,
I
we're gonna go ahead
remember.
and end this right now,
Yeah.
man. We're gonna do a hopefully a more
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home and cry now.
yeah, hopefully we're gonna do a more well structured podcast by next week. So yeah, just
We'll get it
follow
more
these guys on
organized.
Twitter. Yeah, I got all you guys' Twitter up there. Just follow them. Favorite them. Tweet about SOCOM, man. Use the hashtags. SOCOM,
Yeah,
SOCOM
man.
Remastered. Just keep it going. I mean,
Listen, we
Save
and
your
need
follows and
all
follow
these zombies,
Capone, man.
all these thousands
Shout
of
outs to
SOCOMers
Capone
who
for
used to
letting me
play.
be in
We
the
need that
stream
to
here.
come back.
all
Yeah,
right, man.
Yeah.
we need that.
Or if not,
Man.
fucking get a whole bunch of us on X-Link, man.
Yeah, there you go. That's an idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And man,
It's about the community.
we'll catch you guys next week, and yeah, hopefully we'll have something better prepared for you guys then. So make sure you guys check out my other videos in the SOCOM News episode 2 and the history of SOCOM. Just click that annotation on the screen. It'll take you there. Give it a like, share it, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.